Hello! You have joined the Script Mistress for Scene 32, the Character Archetype series, The Joker. I am your host, Amber Bosworth, and I really barely scratched the surface back in my episode 11. Yes, Scene 11. Go back and listen to it where I went over all 12 character archetypes and kind of get like an outline of them. Here, I'm getting into each character archetype. If you haven't been paying attention, I think we're at number 7 right now, the Joker. But please go back and listen to Scene 11 if you haven't, if you want kind of a full rundown of all of them, and then we'll really dig deep into each episode. Now, if you want to stay up to date on my podcast, events, and challenges, get on my mailing list at thescriptmistress.com. I also have this whole episode on video at thescriptmistress.com/scene 32. Yes, scene 32. So excited for your enjoyment, along with a completely free download. I provide a free download, free resources for you on every episode. So please go to that page and download that. I've also started the Script Mistress YouTube channel. All of these episodes are available on the Script Mistress YouTube channel, and I have the link to that in the show notes. Now, I have been working hard reading all of the May's Ink to Screen Screenwriting Challenge entries. So while you wait to find out who won May, check out the June challenge. It is now open for registration. If you didn't know, I run a monthly short screenwriting challenge where writers get 5 days to write a new 5-page screenplay based on a prompt set out the first day of the challenge. The winner gets $150, and every writer that submits a completed script gets detailed feedback. This is all included in the $15 entry fee. You can check this all out at thescriptmistress.com/ink to screen. Now, the June challenge is going to run from June 21st to the 25th, right after the May finalists and winner are announced on June 19th. Sign up now. And I'm also running a special promotion for June only that you can get 6 months of these challenges where normally it would be $90 to do individually for $60. So you're getting 2 months free right there, 66% off until we start the June challenge on the 21st. So check that out if you really want to finish the year writing. Now, in case you forgot, here are the 12 character archetypes in Carl Jung's world. We have the warrior, the child, the orphan, the creator, the caregiver, the mentor. Now, those were the first 6, and those are all on previous episodes. Now we start with the Joker, then the Magician, the Ruler, the Rebel, the Lover, and the Seducer. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to kind of jump into the Joker. The Joker can also be referred to as the Jester. So I'm going to kind of weave in and out the Joker, the Jester. Just rest assured they are the same thing. Now, this is the class clown or the stoner. The person just trying to get by in life and comic relief. They can be a cautionary tale or just there for the laughs. Such a complex character type. I really like this. And it's not just one to just throw away and not really work at in your screenplay or whatever you're writing. Now, strengths of the Joker. Everyone likes them. They're fun to be around and can have a deep soul. Weaknesses of the Joker. Unreliable in times of need. Usually in it for themselves, a constant distraction. I mean, come on. Now, the Joker's motivation. This is what motivates them. What will make my life easier and what will make me happy? So that's fun to play with. Now, some character archetype examples. Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Timon and Pumba, Megan from Bridesmaids. Now, the Joker archetype is a surprisingly versatile and complex character archetype. For many of us, the word Joker or jester brings to mind a character like Shakespeare's Fool. This is the servant who's drunk on the job, drunk on puns, and turning everyone else's suffering into a joke. At their flattest, the Joker is a tool for social commentary and comic relief. I love one of my favorite movies. I'm not going to say what it is because it's like one of those, what's the word? Those guilty pleasure movies. Anyway, one of the things where she just comes up to somebody, like 50% of what people joke about is true. So you can say things and joke about them without feeling vulnerable. That is the great thing about the Joker is the Joker can say the things that maybe our protagonist might want to say, but can't say it in without feeling vulnerable and saying it for real, where the Joker just says it and doesn't give a crap. So that's one way to look at it. But this, one-dimensional version does not even begin to cover the full potential of the jester joker archetype. An artfully designed jester can give depth to your theme, spur your hero into action, and even inspire self-examination in your readers. It's just a matter of moving beyond the cliche and discovering the possibilities. So we're about to cover what the jester joker archetype is, the ways a joker can further your story, the defining characteristics of a joker, where you've seen this character before. So let's just get right into it. What is the jester joker archetype? Other terms for the jester archetype include clown, comedian, fool, and trickster. As you probably gathered, the defining trait of a joker is humor. This is not the only archetype that can be funny, but it is the only one defined by comedy. So that's really important. Like anybody can be funny. It does not make them the joker or jester, but the jester joker archetype is defined by that comedy. Now, some jesters are funny by accident, but most actively choose humor as a tool to communicate, entertain themselves, or cope. Like, don't we all use humor to cope with the bad things happening in our lives, the stress, anxiety, or uncomfortable situations? Now, we don't often learn about a Joker's inner life or backstory. While the other characters involve themselves in the central conflict, the Joker stands on the edge, cracking jokes. Some stories do show us a glimpse of the Joker's sincerity or vulnerability, but this moment is hard-earned and rare. So this could, again, be sort of their arc. The Joker most commonly appears as a side character with no personal character arc, but a Joker can be a protagonist, and we'll bring those up later. Jokers are cynical truth tellers, right? So, what do Joker archetypes do? A well crafted Joker archetype can have a surprising impact on the momentum and depth of a story. Here's some ways you can use the Joker archetype to write a novel or a screenplay that flows and resonates with your reader. They reveal the truth. The Joker always knows what's up. This character sees the protagonist's flaws and fears. They know who the phony people are. They see through stuff. They know the real reason why the antagonist did what they did, and they're shockingly philosophical. A Joker's wise insight can help you expand on a theme, or it can inspire the protagonist to take action, like push that sucker out the door. You see that a lot in comedy and romance. The Joker BFF may seem like a hot mess for the first 2/3 of the story, but in the end, they've got the hot take on the issues standing between the protagonist and true love. Motivate the protagonist. On that note, not all Jokers are full-time snark monsters. Snark monsters. Some take a pause from their cynicism and pranks to rally behind the protagonist. One great example is the sincere support and cheerleading Harry Potter gets from the mischievous Weasley twins, or the occasional show of earnest affection from Parks and Recreation's dark and brooding Joker, April Ludgate. You wouldn't think of her as the Joker or jester, but she is. They can create or ease tension. Comedy itself is a game of building and releasing tension, a lot like horror, but comedy even more so because you have to get that build. A joke can spotlight conflict and insecurities. It can force the truth on people who are not ready to hear it. Again, it's like can say what they want without feeling vulnerable by making it a joke. Or it can offer the relief of a much needed guffaw laugh. In this way, your Joker has the power to be an emotional puppet master, whether or not it's their intention to play the role. So they may go into it unwillingly, but again, they're defined by their comedy. Don't forget that. So, what are some typical Joker archetype characteristics? Carpet from Aladdin is a Joker jester. So is Harley Quinn. Clearly, the actual characters who fit into the Joker archetype can vary widely in terms of personality and genre. But there are a few common traits you're likely to see in most of the Jokers out there. They're charismatic. The Joker is fun. They're entertaining, magnetic, and outgoing. People usually like having a Joker around. at least when things are going well, not so much when they're going bad. Mischievous. Most jokers are drawn to trouble, provided the trouble looks fun. They're curious, they don't think about much about the consequences, and they love making authority figures look like idiots. It's always fun. They're clever. It's not unusual for the Joker to be the smartest person in the room. Even if they don't seem exceptionally sharp in the traditional sense, they're uniquely insightful and observant. More of like street smarts and just culturally wise, where it might not necessarily be book smart. The Joker loves a good paradox, loves playing devil's advocate, and loves using humor to outwit hypocrites and those in power. 4, impulsive. This character tends to be restless and impulsive. Sometimes they chase what thrills them without considering the consequences to themselves or others. In darker portrayals, you might see a Joker struggling with addiction and other impulse control issues. That is not an unlikely characteristic type for the Joker jester. They are carefree. The jester Joker lives in the moment. They don't think much about the future, and while they're often content to tag along with the protagonist or antagonist on their journey, they don't care much about the outcome. A lot of jokers preach about accepting the world for the mess that it is. Whether its carefree exterior is a full representation of how the Joker feels or just a mask they wear to protect themselves, well, that's up to you and your story. That brings us to the final trait, emotionally guarded. The Jokers don't do vulnerability. They have a difficult time talking about emotions, theirs or anyone else's, without making a joke. Like, can we just stop joking and talk about this? That's not what they like to do. This is where you have an opportunity to give your Joker some depth and explore their true motivations. For some Jokers, their carefree nature is what motivates them to seek the joke in all situations. For others, humor is a shield, a way to acknowledge suffering without actually sitting with the pain. Now, some Joker archetype examples. So here's some really good ones that you may have not even considered. Hopefully, you're already starting to recognize a few Jokers from your favorite books and movies in these descriptions. But just to help you conceptualize this archetype further, here's some classic Joker jester archetype examples. Mercutio, Romeo and Juliet. He's smart, playful, and cynical. Mercutio also always goes for the joke. Though he's Romeo's bestie, he doesn't play sides with his critical commentary, picking on Romeo's hyper-romantic tendencies from Act 1. If anyone in Fair Verona can say they saw it coming, it's this guy. Peak Lynn from Crazy Rich Asians. Peak Lynn knows where the scene is. And when she gets to the scene, you can bet she'll steal it. She's funny, forthright, and delighted by riches without being deferential to the rich. She's loyal to the underdog, Rachel. Statler and Waldorf, the Muppet Show. You remember these guys, the old guys that sit up in the balcony and heckle the rest of the Muppets while they just try to put on a good show? Now, these dudes are snarky, take nothing seriously, and expect disappointment. Total jokers, jesters. Eleanor Shellstrop, The Good Place. And literally, as we are talking, my 2 older kids are upstairs watching this right now. So, great example. What an example of a Joker as a protagonist. Here it is. Eleanor Shellstrop is cynical, observant, scoffs at authority figures, and constantly uses humor to hide from her feelings and personal responsibility. And because she starts from this place of full-on Joker, it's an absolute delight to see her evolve into a character who sees the goodness in the world around her. Now that's the valley. It's great. Now build your own Joker. Obnoxious or endearing. Goofy or brooding. Purely comical or a little bit tragic. Now, there's a lot of room to play within the Jester Joker archetype. This character exists to illuminate the truth and create some laughs, because we need that. Beyond that, Who they are is in your hands. Can't wait to see what we can do with these Joker characters. Now, I've provided the resources in the show notes where I got some of these articles, really great articles out there. If you're willing to go search for them or not, just wait till I come out with the next one. And if you haven't been listening, if you're here for the first time, I've created a new worksheet, not so new anymore, but it's been out for quite a while, for all of these 12 archetypes. Download the character archetype worksheet and fill it out for whichever character archetype you are working on. So it works for any of them. You can also get it here, thescriptmistress.com/archetypes. And feel free to share some of your thoughts on our Facebook page at Ink to Screen on Facebook, or email me at amber@thescriptmistress.com to get some extra help. Now, please don't forget about the monthly screenwriting challenge. What an amazing opportunity for $15 to take a chance and write one of these character archetypes and really hone in on your characters and get feedback. You submit a script, even if it's late, even if it's not within the deadline, you get feedback. Where else can you really get that, especially if you're working on your format, your character development, your story arcs? Really, get in there. June is open for registration. I have that 6-month promo. Check it out. You could win $150. Not only the feedback, but the $150. Just all for $15. Check it all out at thescriptmistress.com/ink to screen. You know what? Thank you guys so much for listening or watching. It's summer. I hope you guys are enjoying this, maybe out for a walk, a little pleasantness in your ear. I really appreciate it. I value any feedback. I've gotten some notes. People want some awesome podcast ideas. They're coming out after this archetype series. I'm really excited. But if you have an idea for a podcast, if you're struggling with something, and if you think a topic would really help you with your writing, email me, message me, amber@thescriptmistress.com. Like and follow this show wherever you're listening. Talk soon. And until then, happy writing. Do write. Get out there.